They say you never really know a person until they betray you. And when that betrayal comes from the one person you trusted the most, it doesn't just break your heart. It shatters everything you thought was real. I thought I had a solid marriage. 22 years of partnership, of building a home, of raising children together. Sure, things weren't perfect. What marriage is. But I thought we were a team, until I found out about her. Roger, my husband, had been sleeping with a 22-year-old girl young enough to be our daughter. A girl who, by some cruel twist of fate, got pregnant. When I confronted him, I expected guilt. I expected remorse. Maybe even a confession. But what did I get? It didn't mean anything, he said. It was just a mistake. A mistake. As if sleeping with someone for months was the same as forgetting to pay a bill. I should have left him then. Looking back, I don't know why I didn't. Maybe it was the sunk cost fallacy. 22 years is a long time to throw away. Maybe I was too exhausted to fight. Maybe I thought I could move past it. I forgave him. Not for him, but for myself. But fate wasn't done with me yet. Because 4 months ago, Roger came, home carrying a baby. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I was sitting in the living room enjoying my coffee when the front door swung open. Roger stood there looking like someone had just punched him in the gut. In his arms, a baby, a tiny, helpless 4-month-old. "Baby, what the hell is this?" I asked. Roger's face was pale. He looked sick, desperate. "She left," he whispered. I stared at him, my stomach churning. Who left? Her. The mother. She said she couldn't do it anymore. She dropped him off at my job and he swallowed hard. She's gone. She flew to Spain this morning. She's not coming back. Silence. I let the words sink in. His 22-year-old mistress had abandoned their baby. Just left him at a workplace like a lost piece of luggage. And now, Roger expected me to step up. I let out a slow, deep breath. "And this is my problem, how?" Roger flinched. "He's just a baby," he said. "I can't do this alone. You should have thought about that before you unzipped your pants." That night, I laid down the rules. He could stay. The baby could stay. But I would not, under any circumstances, act like that child's mother. I would not feed him. I would not change him. I would not rock him to sleep. It wasn't cruelty. It was survival. Because every time I looked at that baby, all I saw was the proof of my husband's betrayal. For months, I stuck to my word. Roger did it all, the late-night feedings, the daycare drop-offs, the doctor's visits, until one night, everything changed. I woke up to a sound I'll never forget, a thud, a crash, a strangled gasp. I ran to our bedroom and found Roger on the floor. His face was twisted in pain, his hands clutching his chest. "Call 911, he rasped. My heart was racing, but my hands were steady as I grabbed the phone. I told the dispatcher what was happening, then knelt. Beside him, I didn't hold his hand. I didn't tell him it would be okay. Because honestly, I didn't know if I wanted it to be. The paramedics came. They rushed him to the hospital. And when the doctor came out hours later, his expression was grim. "He had a heart attack," he said. "He's lucky to be alive." Lucky? I wasn't so sure about that. Because Roger wasn't the same man when he came home. He was weak, fragile, dependent. And suddenly, I was the one stuck with the baby. For a month, I tried. I really did. I changed diapers. I made bottles. I rocked a baby that wasn't mine while my husband lay in bed too sick to help. And all I felt was resentment. I hadn't signed up for this. I didn't choose this life, so I made a decision. I called the baby's maternal grandparents. I told them they had until Friday to come get their grandson, or I'd call CPS. They were horrified. "How can you be so heartless?" the grandmother demanded. I looked at her, dead in the eye. "I'm not heartless," I said, "but I'm not his mother." They took the baby, and I didn't look back. Then, 2 weeks later, Roger died. I thought that would be the end of it. I thought I could finally move on. But of course, life had other plans. His family called me selfish. My own kids accused me of being cruel. Even the baby's grandparents tried to guilt me into taking him back. But I stood firm. "I'll support him financially," I said. "I'll do whatever the court requires, but I will not raise him." They called me cold. Maybe I was. But I had spent 22 years being warm, forgiving, and selfless. And where had it gotten me? It had gotten me betrayed, used, left to clean up a mess I didn't make. So no, I wasn't going to be the hero in their story. And then, just when I thought I had heard it all, I came across another woman's story. A woman who had been through something eerily similar. Her name was Emma. She was 30 years old. And her husband left her 6 weeks after she gave birth. But not just for anyone. For a woman he had been cheating on her with for an entire year. She found out when he didn't come home one night. She searched his emails. She found hotel bookings, messages, and a picture of him in the background of another. Woman selfies. But the worst part? She still wanted him back. Until the day she did what I did. She called the mistress. And what she learned changed everything. Because just like Roger, her husband had been lying to everyone. He told his mistress that he and Emma were separated. That the baby was a mistake. That he was only sticking around for legal reasons. And when the truth came out, both women walked away. I think about Emma sometimes. I think about how many women are out there being lied to, being manipulated, and how many of them are told to forgive, forget, and sacrifice. But we don't have to. Because at the end of the day, no one is coming to save us. So we have to save ourselves. And if that makes us the villains in someone else's story, so be it. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.